we are, Seabreeze Limited, nautical books and charts. Captain Dave Rearick, one of his favorite places to be.
We're here in San Diego, and I just love chart stores because I love charts. I love old charts, new charts. I've got lots of old maps and old charts down the coast. It's kind of fun. So come on in, we'll show you how we get charts to where we're going and what we're navigating. So this is Captain Ann, who runs the store.
Afternoon.
And she's been a captain for quite a long time in her life, been sailing all her life. She claims she can't remember when she began to sail, so she's been up and down both coasts and boats up to 160 feet or so.
One way or another.
One way or another, yeah. So we'll come this way. We'll show you how you buy charts and stuff like that. Someone like Ann, who's a specialist in charts and books, has all kinds of cruising guides and charts and stuff like that. Here's a great picture of the Baja Peninsula from the satellite type thing. And then there's a beautiful picture of a big sailboat.
To go around the world.
To go around the world.
Yeah.
And if you look at the wall over here, you'll see that this is how charts are stored, and they all have different numbers and stuff like that. And someone like Ann knows what each number, which region they all represent. And this right here, if you can see this old chart, is the way it was done in 1859
Yep.
of San Diego Harbor. And these are called harbor surveys back then. They've since become charts. This is a chart of the world. But so Ann, do you have a chart of the Baja Peninsula we can look at real quick?
This is the overview, and it's going to give you the whole thing down the coast from San Francisco up here. Here's San Diego, Ensenada, Turtle Bay, Mag Bay, Cabo San Lucas, the Sea of Cortez, right on down to Puerto Vallarta and Manzanillo.
So the race they're going to do on Bodacious 4 is going to start in Newport Beach.
Which is up the coast. There's San Clemente, Newport Beach right there.
Right here. And they're going to sail out and down to Cabo San Lucas. And then Captain Tim and myself and 3 other crew members will join the boat in Cabo San Lucas, and we'll be sailing back up here. And we'll probably stop in Turtle Bay and get fuel, and then continue on up to San Diego and finish our trip. So this is the Baja Peninsula here that we're going along, where lots of whales and stuff along there. You've been up and down that many times, yeah?
Great whales, and in fact, if you had the time to get into some of these lagoons, even the upper part of the Mag Bay, the whales are great. They're right there. You have to be in a small boat to get in there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is the right time of year, but literally, they're right there.
You can touch them, reach out and touch them.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Do you have a picture of the world that shows where we can get a relationship as to where Baja is for the whole world?
Let me get that out. This one won't have a reflection. But this is we like this chart in particular because it puts the whole Pacific Ocean together in one place. And most of the people that we're dealing with are in some way cruising around on and off the Pacific. And so this is the Baja Peninsula right here. San Diego is right there, that little tiny dot. And so your trip will be down like this and then back up. That's the Baja, all 1,000 miles of it.
So one of the neat things, like Captain Ann says, is this is the whole Pacific, which is the largest ocean
It is. It's
on
almost half
the planet. It's almost half the planet, huh?
Yep.
These are the famed South Pacific Islands. You've got Australia here, all of Asia where the Russian states are at, China, India, Africa, Saudi Arabia, Europe, where France and Germany and England and those states. And then this is the Atlantic Ocean over here.
And it's continued over
And
here.
continues on this side. So if you wrap this around a globe, you would connect the dots.
Yep, exactly.
So one of the interesting things, so you sailed, you're from the East Coast, right?
Newport, Rhode Island, which is, that's just below there. That hook is Cape Cod.
So if you were going to go from Newport, Rhode Island, how would you get to Baja?
without getting too hammered, if I were gonna sail it,
Yeah.
what I would do would be to come down, and then I would go this way and get into the trade winds, because coming this, well, you can do it coming this way, but this way puts you with the trade winds as you come across here. And they can blow really hard. And then this is the Panama Canal through here. So you'd come out of the canal, and then you'd start up the coast through Costa Rica, El Salvador, and so on, up into Mexico. This is all Mexico. This then is the Sea of Cortez again. And there's the Baja Peninsula, and there we are, right there, San Diego.
That's cool. So that would be through the Panama Canal. The old days, they used to go all the way around the southern
All the way
tip
around
of...
the Horn.
This is Cape Horn, so they go down around the tip of South America to get up this way. Now, say if you were in France, over here where I've got a lot of friends where I spent last summer sailing along the French coast, and I left out of Portugal, out of Lisbon, Cascais, Portugal, to come across the Atlantic. If you're over here, you would sail across the Atlantic, which would then bring you back over to this side of the chart and come across and make your same, you probably come down low here and pick up the trade winds and come in the same route this way and back up. If you were over here in Japan, you would just come sailing across, maybe past the Hawaiian Islands. There are some various different routes because of weather and the trade winds and stuff that might take you over the top, I suppose, huh?
This is the most common way because the Pacific High sits right here, and the Pacific High means no wind, so no sailing. So they either come up high and over it. I don't know of anyone coming down low and underneath it.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it's like the conventional wisdom of how do you get from San Diego to Washington? You sail to Hawaii and you hang a right.
So later in the summer, we'll do the Transpac race, which will go from Los Angeles area to Hawaii across here. So if you were in Australia, you would sail probably down south this route and up? Or would you still go up?
I would still go up
Still
because
go
the
up north
trades
now.
are coming at you this way.
That's right, the trade's coming right at you.
Yeah.
So, or else you would go, way down south and come a long way around. But the important thing about all this is that the whole world is connected by water. And so regardless of where you're at, whether you're in Africa or Australia, Russia, Canada, South America, the Baja Peninsula you can get there, you can travel there and get there. And that to me means that we're all connected on the earth and the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
And so all these areas around the world are important to us from an environmentally sensitive and being aware of what's going on in the environment. So if a guy dropped a plastic bottle off in Japan in the water, it might very well float around for a while, get up here, and eventually get snagged up and end up down in Baja.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's exactly what's happening. That whole, they talk about the Pacific Gyre,
Mm-hmm.
which is somewhere out in here, and all of that stuff that's coming across from Japan is all coming in up here, and there's lots of it. We're beginning to see some of it even farther south now, so it's definitely moving around.
Yeah. So of all the places you've been sailing and boating in the world, what do you find the most interesting, or what do you like the most?
Golly. Two. One is the Sea of Cortez. It's just such a different geology, and the sea life is fabulous. And the other is this British Columbia, Southeast Alaska area, because there is just so much to see, and it's a relatively compact area. And at some point, our smaller boat will be based up there.
Very cool. And the Sea of Cortez is often called the Gulf of California, too.
It
right?
is,
Yeah,
it
there's
is.
two names. Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, very good. Ann, thank you so much for
You're
showing
welcome.
us and helping us show people where these things are in the world. We're going to have a lot of fun with this trip.
That's
And
it's sort of not exactly slogan, but when we see people coming in here,
when I walked in here earlier today to buy a couple of charts for Bodacious 4, Ann came out with 3 or 4 questions real quick, which is, what were they?
Where are you going to go? What are you going to be doing?
And I told her, well, I'm going around the world. And she kind of gasped and said, you're going the cold route. We're going to take Bodacious Dream later on this fall. When we go to our further expeditions, we'll start up here in the Newport area where Ann is from. And we'll head off on around the world and stop at some interesting places, like maybe the mouth of the Amazon. We'll probably come into Cape Horn. Probably stop around Australia and New Zealand, see some friends in New Zealand where the boat was built. Maybe come up and do some fun up in here, or maybe just sail on down. I'm sure we'll stop around the Cape Horn and the Falkland Islands and the Georgia Islands. There's some very interesting places in the world we hope to get around and see.
There's a lot out there.
We'll be coming back to see Ann to get charts for it.
I will be here.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.